All right, let's get into it. Imagine a place just about 90 minutes south of Lisbon, a stretch of coastline that's completely rewriting the rules of what luxury even means. It's called Comporta. And honestly, it's less of a dot on a map and more of an idea, a philosophy you have to discover. So today, we're going to unpack what makes this spot so incredibly special.
So to really wrap your head around Comporta, you first have to understand this massive shift that's been happening. For years, luxury was all about being seen, right? Flashy resorts, designer everything, just showing off. Comporta? It's the polar opposite. It's built on what you could call new luxury. Think understated, deeply connected to nature, and just real. It's a place where the ultimate status symbol isn't what you're wearing, but the fact that you have access to something truly untouched.
So, how did this whole vibe even come about? Well, see, that's the thing. Unlike so many other high-end destinations that were basically invented by marketing teams, Comporta's reputation grew totally organically. It was like a secret, whispered from one person in the know to another. It started attracting people who were tired of the old way, people looking for something genuine, a place that felt exclusive because of its soul, not its price tag.
In this quote, man, it just absolutely nails it. This is the heart of Comporta's entire appeal. The biggest luxury you can find here is the feeling of sand between your toes on a beach that's practically empty, or the sight of these incredible green rice paddies stretching out forever. It's a value system built on what you can experience, not what you can buy.
Now, you have to understand, a paradise like this doesn't just happen by accident, especially not in the 21st century. Its preservation is almost entirely thanks to one single entity, the Herdade da Comporta. This is this huge, historic private estate that has been the guardian of this land for centuries, and its vision is the only reason Comporta is still so pristine today.
And just to give you a sense of the sheer scale we're talking about, the estate covers over 12,000 hectares. That makes it one of the largest agricultural estates in all of Portugal. And that right there, that single unified ownership is the secret sauce. It allows for this incredibly careful, long-term planning that would be totally impossible anywhere else, where land is all chopped up and owned by different people.
And look, this is not some brand new project. The Herdade was established way back in 1836. By 1955, it was pioneering the rice cultivation that gives the landscape its signature look. But the real game changer, the moment that sealed Comporta's fate, was in 1991. That's when they created a master plan for sustainable, low-impact development. They basically locked in the region's character for generations.
So what exactly are they protecting with so much care? Well, it's this stunning, almost impossible combination of ecosystems, all right next to each other. You've got 9 kilometers of untouched Atlantic beaches that give way to these massive protected dunes, and right behind them, you find the iconic emerald rice fields and these quiet, beautiful cork oak forests. This incredible diversity, all layered together, that's the soul of Comporta.
So, when you have a landscape like this, one that's so carefully protected, it naturally inspires a unique way of life. It's this delicate dance between rustic and refined, and honestly, you can sum up the whole thing in one simple but really powerful motto.
You're going to hear this phrase over and over again if you look into Comporta. Barefoot sophistication. It just perfectly captures the whole ethos. It's about enjoying the absolute highest quality of life, from the food, to the architecture, to the company, but doing it in a totally relaxed, unpretentious way. It means you can literally ride a horse on the beach and an hour later sit down for a world-class meal and you'll never feel out of place.
And this philosophy is just baked right into the architecture. I mean, development is strictly controlled. New buildings have to be inspired by the traditional, humble fishermen's huts you see in the area. The rules are simple, but they are non-negotiable. You have to respect the landscape, you have to use local materials like cork and wood, you have to blur the lines between inside and out, and you use the natural environment itself to create privacy. What you end up with is an architecture that feels like it just grew out of the land.
And the food? It follows the exact same script. It is all about celebrating these incredible local ingredients, especially that amazing local rice and seafood that's literally fresh off the boat. You've got really high-end, world-class dining at places like Sublime Comporta, but you've also got these beloved, super casual beachside spots like Comporta Cafe. It's all about authentic quality, whether you're wearing flip-flops or you're dressed for dinner. Okay, so you've got this perfectly preserved nature, this unique, understated culture, and when you put those two things together, scarcity and exclusivity, you create a really powerful investment case. This isn't just a beautiful place to hang out, it's an incredibly rare and therefore valuable asset. Which of course brings us to the big question. In a world that is just covered in overdevelopment, what is a true, protected paradise like this actually worth? Well, the numbers, they tell a pretty fascinating story.
So check this out. While prime property in Comporta is hitting around 15,000 euros a square meter, which is not cheap, right? It is still way more accessible than other famous luxury spots like the Hamptons or the French Riviera. Now, what does that tell you? It doesn't just suggest value, it suggests there is still significant room to grow as more of the world discovers this place.
And that growth, it's already happening. We've seen almost 20% price appreciation in just the last 5 years. And here's the crucial part. This is not some speculative bubble. This value is being driven by the most basic, powerful economic principle there is. Incredibly limited supply and a rapidly rising demand. They literally cannot make any more of it.
And that demand is coming from everywhere. You know, while Europeans are still the majority of buyers, there is this fast-growing interest from North America, plus a really strong local Portuguese market. And why that matters is because this diverse international appeal creates a much more stable and resilient market. It's not dependent on just one country's economy.
Which brings us to a final, pretty big thought. As the world keeps searching for more authentic, more sustainable ways to live and travel, is Comporta the blueprint for the future of luxury? Or is it something so unique, born from such a specific history and geography, that it can never, ever be replicated? It might just be the last of its kind, a true secret paradise in a world that has very few secrets left.